I would just like to point out that all of the characters and writings are property of the prospective owners and the people who created them. I own none of the content that is currently being created. Please support the official release of all such products. Thank you for listening. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Volume 1. Prologue. Death and Rebirth. An ordinary life with nothing much to talk about. Graduated from university. Tentatively entered a major company as a general contractor. Currently 37 years old and living alone. No girlfriend. My elder brother, whom I haven't seen for years, is the one supporting our parents, so you could say that I'm a willful bachelor. I'm not of a short stature, and my face doesn't look bad either. Yet I am unpopular. At one point, I didn't make efforts to find a girlfriend, but my heart broke after confessing and being turned down 3 times in a row. Well, after getting to this age, I find it too bothersome to care about. While it's true that I'm busy with work, it's not as if not having one is particularly troubling. I don't mean to make excuses, you know. The reason I was thinking about this matter was, Senpai, thank you for waiting. They didn't need this. They must have the burden knowledge of knowing what this is. A game of Yandere Simulator, later. Walking towards me with a smiling face was a refreshing young man, together with the beauty, who alongside him. It was Tamura, my junior at work, and the famous Madonna of our company, a receptionist named Sawatari-san. What happened is that these two were going to get married, and I was asked for some counseling, which is why I couldn't help ending up questioning my unpopularity. The meeting place after work was to be by the edge of a pedestrian crossing, and it was there that I was leaning against a post, immersed deep in thoughts. Yeah, so what did you want to ask? I inquired while nodding a greeting to Sawatari-san. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm Sawatari Miho. It's our first time talking even though we see each other often. It makes me somewhat nervous. I'm the one who's nervous here in the first place. I'm not good with talking to women. Figure it out, is what I grumbled inside. To begin with, no matter how you look at it, you're not supposed to consult with someone like me, with no luck in love-related matters. They're insinuating something, I'm sure of it. Hello, I'm Mikami Satoru. It's okay if you just relax, Sawatari-san is famous in our company, so you don't need to introduce yourself. By chance, I was in the same university as Tamura, and we started getting along during the company training course. We've known each other since then. What do you mean by famous? Are there weird rumors going around about me? Indeed, like how you've had an affair with Chief Jiang, or that you've dated with Miku-kun? I couldn't stop myself from teasing. I only meant it to be as a light joke. But it was cute seeing Sawatari-san become teary-eyed and red in the face. Because my jokes are quite lacking in delicacy, I'm often told I should definitely stop making them, but I spoke it out loud by mistake anyway. As I expected, this time was a failure too. Yep, I really have a bad personality. Tamara is patting Sawatari-san on the shoulder while consoling her. Damn you, Tamura. In a situation like this, I should shout, "Explode, you Raiju," or something like that. Senpai, please leave it at that. And Miho, you're only being teased. That smiling Tamura soothed things over. He was a capable junior. Not in the least disagreeable. A pleasant guy who was hard to hate. Tamura was still 28 years old, and even though there was a large age difference between us, somehow we got along well. I guess I have no choice. I'll just give them my honest blessings. I'm sorry about that. You see, my personality is like, well, rather than standing around here, let's find a place to eat and I'll listen there. There's no point in being jealous, is what I thought while I was speaking. Yeah! Along with a scream came sudden chaos. What was that? What's happening? Move! I'll kill ya! As I turned towards that voice, I saw a man running this way while carrying a kitchen knife in a bag. I hear another scream. That man was coming closer. In his hand had a kitchen knife. Kitchen knife? It's pointed toward Tamura! Thud as I shoved Tamura away. Stab! A sudden burning pain grew in my backside. Don't get in my way! I gazed at the shrieking man as he escaped, then confirmed the safety of Tamura and Sawatari-san. Tamura was soundlessly screaming as he rushed over to my side, although Sawatari-san seemed to be in a shocked trance due to the sudden incident. It looks like she wasn't hurt. That's a relief. At any rate, my back was feeling like it's burning, beyond that of a simple, painful sensation. The back of my body feels as if it's on fire. What is this? This is way too hot. Spare me, please. Perhaps I've been stabbed. Getting stabbed and dying? No way. Senpai, blood is pouring. The bleeding won't stop. Who's that? Noisy guy. Tamura? I thought I heard a strange voice, but it can't be helped if it's Tamura. Blood? Well, yeah, it's pouring out. I'm just a human, you know. If I get stabbed, of course I'll bleed. Still, I can't stand the pain. Let's see, this is bad. The pain and shock seem to be confusing my mind. Tamura, quiet down some. It's not a big deal, alright? Don't worry about it. Senpai, the blood! His face looking white as a sheet, and on the verge of crying. Tamura was trying to hold me in his arms. That expression is ruining his good looks. I tried to check on how Sawatari-san was doing, but my vision was too blurred to see properly. As the pain in my back faded away, in its place a violent chill began assaulting my body. This is getting dangerous, huh? People die when they don't have enough blood. Why, you... What have you been saying all this time? I didn't quite catch that. I tried speaking out loud, but my voice wouldn't come out. This is really bad. I might die. Rather, the burning and painful sensations are gradually disappearing. It's so cold. So cold I don't know what to do. Goodness, now it's the cold's turn to freeze me solid. I'm such a busy guy. At that moment, when my brain cells were on the edge of death, they recalled a certain important matter. That's right! The contents of my PC hard disk! Samura! If by chance, in the worst case, I end up dying, I leave my PC to you. Drown it in the bath and electrocute it to completely eliminate the data. Destroy the shameful collection of my manly desires. Mustering what's left of my energy, I conveyed that matter of utmost importance. For a moment, Tamura was blankly staring as if unable to believe what he heard. However, when he came to understand what I meant, that's so like you, senpai. Saying that, he bitterly smiled. I didn't want to see a man's tearful face anyway. A forced smile is much better than that. To be honest about Sawatari-san, I wanted to show off in front of you. I thought it was like that. Really, this bastard? Psst. Jeez, I forgive everything. Just make sure you make her happy. I leave the PC to you. Take no prisoners, leave no bites alive. With the last of my strength, that was all I said. And just like that, Mikami Sotaru died. But at that moment, Mikami Sotaru's soul linked with a demon of a different world within the same time and space that had unexpectedly appeared. A small, dimensional crack that couldn't be seen with the eye. The soul attached itself to the mass of magic essence that appeared from that crack. The magic essence became the foundation of creating a demon and a body, based on the will of the linked Mikami Sotaru, was being built. Overcoming the astronomically unlikely probability of occurrence, Kami Sotaru was reincarnated as a demon in another world. Pre-reincarnation, an ordinary life with nothing much to talk about. Graduated from university, tentatively entered a major company as a general contractor. Currently 37 years old and living alone. No girlfriend. My older brother, whom I haven't seen for years. The one supporting our parents, so you could say that I'm a willful bachelor. Thanks to that, also a virgin. To think I'm leaving the other world, while it was still unused. My son must be weeping as well. Forgive me for not being able to make you into an adult. If we're ever reborn again, let's be super aggressive. We'll call out to everyone and anyone, feasting without restraint. But that'd be bad, huh? In case you were confused about his son, think of his family jewels. Speaking of myself, I wasn't that far from turning 40 years old. If being a virgin at 30 years old makes you a magician, then I was so close to becoming a sage. Even a great sage wouldn't be just a dream. Though, to be honest, even I think that would be going a little bit too far. But what's that voice that's been talking till now? The heck is you making fun of me? It isn't the least bit unique, not even amusing, not for me. Really, so rude. And thinking such things, I fell asleep. So this is what it's like to die. It's not as lonely as I thought. Those words were the last thoughts of Mikami Sotaru before he left this world. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Volume 1, Chapter 2. First Contact. At the moment, it has been 90 days since I have reincarnated. To be precise, 90 days, 7 hours, 34 minutes, and 52 seconds. How can I be so sure? It's a function of the unique skill, Great Sage. Yeah, this skill sure is convenient. Saves the day because it answers any question. According to it, for the skill to establish itself in this body, 90 days are needed, and that would be establish in this world's sense. I mean, I was sure that I had possessed that skill since the beginning, but that was true only regarding my soul. Until now, it's been assessing and usurping the voice of the world, or so it explained. But damn, I didn't get any of that. It seems that normally a convenient skill that answers any question doesn't exist. The voice of the world is only audible when the world changes, a skill is acquired, or undergoes an evolution. To answer my questions, the Great Sage skill had been appropriating that particular function. I hadn't heard of such an existence in my world, but it seems to be pretty normal here. In any case, things like skill acquisition and evolution are not everyday occurrences. when the world had recognized significant growth, and in rare cases, it'll grant a skill. Evolution, on the other hand, transcends the common sense. Well, still, I'm not certain whether I really got any of that, but nothing to do but accept it. Although Great Sage now answers any question, it is passive and lacks an ego. If I don't talk to it, it won't come asking questions, and that's a shame. However, I am happy to have a one-way conversation with someone. Though talking to my own skill, most would call me simply delusional, eh? And so, since I had nothing else to do in this darkness, I kept asking questions. As a result, I've confirmed that I am, in fact, a slime. Vicious life form. Non-rare life form. Lack of hunger and need to sleep had also been explained. The slimes of this world could absorb magic essence, and thus have no need for physical nourishment. Where there is poor magic essence concentration, monsters and small animals serve as an alternative. So in this world, unexpectedly, the slimes in the regions with poor magic essence are extremely violent and strong. Wouldn't you expect regions with abundant magic essence to be home to strong monsters instead? In other words, in the place with a lot of magic essence, like where I am now, is a place where food is unnecessary. Then, about sleep. Solution. Slime bodies are a composition of identical cells. Every cell serves as a brain cell, nerve ending, and muscle at the same time. Thus, as thought process is undertaken by different cells at different times, sleep is unnecessary. And that was that. So where are my memories stored? Perhaps it's like a PC HDD with RAID set up, right? When thinking that, I got a roughly so response. This great sage guy seems pretty good at holding conversation. And so I got to wondering what the effects of great sage were. Solution, unique skill, great sage, has the following effects. Thought acceleration, raise the speed of thought processing by 1,000 times. Analysis and judgment, ability to analyze and make judgments regarding a target. Parallel processing, ability to detach thoughts and analysis of phenomenon. Chant annulment, when using magic there's no need to chant. All of creation, ability to comprehend all of non-concealed phenomenon in this world. These 5 are your abilities. And that was that. But all of creation? Could it be that I've attained all the knowledge in the world without lifting a finger? Or so I thought. But in reality, depending on the information I understand and the things I know about, additional information can be inferred. In other words, I need to see it at least once. But for the matters that I have seen, those I understand through this power. But chant annulment, so after learning a skill, I don't need to recite anything. More importantly, there's magic in this world? The answer is yes. With this in mind, there's no need to memorize magic. Tried to see if that would work with Great Sage, and of course, it didn't. Then I got an idea. Could I link together Predator analysis and Great Sage? Parallel processing, solution linking, Predator analysis, and Great Sage? Parallel processing is possible. Will you link these abilities? Yes, no? Of course, yes. But, well, it's not like I have anything to analyze. Wait a second. That which has been collecting in my stomach, the grass I eat to kill time. What is it? Since I got nothing to do anyways, might as well analyze it. And so execute the skill at once! Analysis has been complete. The Hippocte grass, used to create ointment, only grows in areas with abundant magic essence. If grass sap is combined with magic essence, a restorative medicine can be created. If the grass sap is ground up and combined with magic essence, an ointment to stop bleeding can be created. Whoa! It's basically as if a kid playing in the sand found diamonds. So I quickly began production of energy, restoration pills, and ointment. Though I say I began production, my body does most by itself, so I don't really feel it. Taking only a second to analyze and 3 seconds to produce, after 5 minutes I can make 100 of these. I had no finished product to compare it to, but when I judged it as a high quality, I might be satisfied with the result. And wasn't analysis compiled way too quickly? I mean, wouldn't you expect it to take more time? Linking parallel processing was definitely the correct decision. Out of curiosity, I decided to cancel the link and try and make one. It took 50 minutes. Processing time has become terrifyingly short. I seem to have gotten my hands on a wonderful skill, while being unconscious, that is. There's plenty of weed being used up inside me, and most of the grass around here seems to be the Hippocte kind. Since it might be needed later, I might as well devour all the grass around here. And at the same time, medicine is being produced. What to say? I'm still stuck in darkness. There's nothing else to do that I can do around here. At this time, I was completely off guard. Though my skill was passive, I had been high on finally having a conversation partner. During these 90 days, I had never met another living thing, nor had any threat to my life. Whatever the reason, I became negligent. Eh? That's all the time I had to think as it happened. My body had suddenly become light, or was it heavy? A bizarre situation. Had I fallen in water? During these 90 days, I've never had the experience of falling in water. That is, I was either in a cavern or inside of some structure and had thus become negligent. I seemed to have fallen into some river, since there could be hardly a river inside some building. Could I possibly be in an underground lake or something like that? Until recently, I saw nothing at all. I had been carefully taking every step, but while I was busy eating grass and listening to the skill's explanation, I seemed to have forgotten to check my footing. I'm always like that. Always getting high off good luck, even at my company. Leave it to me, it's a piece of cake. Due to those words, I've seen hell many times. I could still see the resentment in the eyes of my senpai. And seriously, what kind of idiot runs around in total darkness? Damn it, I want to beat the crap out of myself. If I live, that's what I'll do. Or so I say. But I'll probably regret without reflecting. And, well, I've got time. Actually, I've got no feet to flap in the water with, so it's not like I can even panic in this situation. I guess that's it. What a short human life. No, it was a slime life. Preparing to suffer from lack of air, I have to say my goodbyes. And yet, I didn't feel any suffering. Why? Did I not fall into water? And at times like this, great sage saves the day. Let's quickly ask a question. Solution. Slime bodies have the magic essence. Since oxygen is unnecessary, breathing does not occur. Huh, I wasn't paying attention. But I guess I'm really not breathing. I see. After 90 days, I've again become a bit smarter. That being so, I seem to have really fallen into water. Not a situation where I'll die, but still an unpleasant one. What to do? I don't even know whether I'm floating or sinking. Since I don't have hands or feet, I don't think I can swim. If I sink to the bottom, could I crawl my way to the surface? And if I am floating, would I be flowing around like this? Rather than flowing, it feels like I'm being cradled, like slowly rocked and embraced. A rather pleasant feeling, but I guess I'm not flowing anywhere. Rather than a river, this is probably a lake. Doesn't feel like I'm getting carried somewhere after all. Floating, sinking, with no indication of ever reaching the bottom. This could last forever for all I know. This is a rather bad situation. What to do? And then, my brain cells equal my slime body have devised a terrifying plan. What would happen if I predate a lot of water and then expel it like a water jet to move? Having thought of that, I immediately tested it out. Nothing else to do after all. But that this decision would lead to a fateful encounter that I could not have known. I am glad I had this idea. To say the least, had I went in a different direction, this meeting would have never have happened. But, as if led by fate, I went into this direction. And so, predating enough water to fill about 10% of my stomach, the person in question is unaware, but water levels drastically decreased. And in one breath, I released it. I completely lost my sense of place. Skill. Hydraulic propulsion has been acquired. I suddenly heard a voice in my head. That's the first time I consciously heard it. This is the voice of the world. Since Great Sage never starts a conversation, I can't be mistaken. But otherwise, it's exactly the same. But I don't even have an ounce of time to verify that hypothesis. With a zoom feeling of acceleration envelops my body. Is this what it feels like to fly through the air? At this point in the direction I thought I wanted to move in. I was shot out there. Hate to admit it, but maybe it's a good thing I can't see. Even in this complete darkness, the sheer speed at which I feel I'm moving is terrifying. Correction. No, if I can see, I'd still be at least half as afraid. But not seeing is scary in its own way. If you had ridden on a roller coaster in a dimly lit amusement park, you could sympathize with what I'm feeling. Maybe. In my life, the one time I'd gone to a rat-infested amusement park is all the experience I have. And besides, in this case, there is no such thing as a safety belt. I really should kick myself for coming up with this water jet propulsion idea. Act, then think, idiot. Checking safety is the first step. Can't even focus my thoughts out of fear. Would this flight continue forever? Seriously, how much momentum did I even throw out? When I thought that, doing, and then intense pain. There was none. Did I not receive any damage? Or maybe, even if I received damage, do I not feel any pain? Solution. Due to having acquired pain nullification, you do not feel any pain. Due to the physical attack resistance, damage has been reduced. Currently, the damage area is only 10%. Monster skill slime. Natural skill. Self-regeneration. Has activated. Will you assist it with the unique skill, Predator? Yes? No? Though there's no pain, there's damage. Is that how it is? Whether that's good or not, I haven't a clue, but If I am careful, maybe I would not need pain. Oh, and assist with Predator. Don't really get it, but for now, yes. At that moment, I kind of felt like my body had decreased a bit, and after a bit, it had returned to normal. It seems that I had predated on the damaged parts, analyzed and repaired them type of thing. What a useful body. Now should I see how much I could decrease it before this restoration method becomes unusable? How many percents my body decreased? It seems to have no effect on my movement. Even so that I don't end up in an overly dangerous situation, I probably should proceed in moderation. Yep, as you would expect, even I would become careful. This time, even though I have restorative pills, there was no need to use them. In any case, you'd expect 10% damage across the body to be a rather serious wound, but repairing it didn't even take 10 minutes. This time, if I took damage, of course if I didn't, I'd be very happy, I'll use the medicine. And so, where would this be? Having confirmed that my body had returned to normal, I proceeded to check my surroundings. Maybe there are dangerous monsters lurking around here. Though I exited the water, it wouldn't be strange to find some amphibious monsters. I carefully started moving. Lately, it feels like when I'm careful, I fall into some rather dangerous situations, but maybe that's just my imagination. Thinking that was probably a mistake. Can you hear me, little one? So, I heard something. Status. Name, Mikami Sotoru. Race, slime. Title, none. Magic, none. Abilities, unique skill. Great Skage. Unique skill, predator. Slime, natural skill. Dissolve, absorption, self-regeneration. Skill, hydraulic propulsion. Resistances, thermal fluctuation resistance, EX. Physical attack resistance, pain perception nullification. Electricity resistance, paralysis resistance.